What is up, everybody? It's Jay Coffee Talk back. We got an update regarding the beef between Nick Cannon and Eminem. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like the beef that came and went. Nick dropped them diss tracks. Eminem dropped a tweet. That's about it, really. Let's check it out.
So some people get mad when we say Eminem, but the man was a freak of nature. He dead nice rapping. There's nothing we can do
Yeah, his
about it.
ability. Yeah, you can't knock it, and that's what I said. Like, one day hopefully, dude and I get an opportunity to sit down because, like I said, I do respect his ability. But if
You
we
know what,
speak,
man? I'm gonna try. I'm not acting like I speak to Eminem with you every day. Fat Joe's gonna try to be the mediator, be the big man of this, and try to get y'all together. That's
hey,
my
if you
word.
could do it,
That's
man,
my
'cause
word.
I've been trying to get. I've talked to Royce. Man, we try to really get it popping because I think at the end, two men need to have that
Yeah,
conversation.
but Joe Crack a little different from everybody.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I know you can do it, OG.
Joe Crack a little different. So that would be dope. Yo,
And
my
tell him,
brother's
hey,
out
well, while
there.
you at it, tell him to come. We'll set up an exclusive Wildin' Out in Detroit.
You want that wilding out and all that. You want to talk to the man or you want to... Come on, man.
All right, so you guys hear Fat Joe, Nick Cannon talking there, and Joey Crack, the Don. He feels he could be the one to mediate the situation to get with Eminem. Have a sit down, and they could put their issues behind them. And you heard what Nick said. He talked to Royce. He talked to everyone. Um, I'll play another clip in a minute where he speaks on, trying to have this sit down before. But what do you guys think about this, man? Like, Eminem, I don't think it, like, I'm not even saying anything against Nick Cannon, but I don't even think M's gonna come out and have no sit down and squash the beef. M's like a recluse. We know this. He don't really come outside. He doesn't really do interviews or nothing like that. He just stays in the cut and does him, really. You know what I mean? Like, we saw when he beefed with Machine Gun Kelly. He did like one interview, and that was with Sway, who's technically like in house, a part of Team Eminem, I guess we could say, in a sense. You know what I mean? Same thing. Recently, he did a video with Crooked Eye, interview. That's, Crooked Eye was Slaughterhouse, Shady Records. They were linked up as well. Eminem doesn't really come out and interact with people like that. Like, for real, the dude's just a recluse. Now, Fat Joe and M, have always been rumored to have a good relationship, and we know M was on Fat Joe's album, and that's kind of like Fat Joe saying, maybe I can sit down and hash this out. We could work this out. It's kind of like he almost owes that to Nick Cannon in a sense, I guess, because he had Eminem on the track on his album with the joint with Mary J. Blige when he started talking about Mariah in Nick again, So I guess he's like, that's the least I could do, but I don't know, man. I don't really think it's going to happen, regardless of what anyone's thoughts on all this is. Make sure to jump in the comments. But it's kind of funny to me that even through all this, like right now when we're seeing him talking about squashing the issue, he's like, well, yo, Joe, tell him we could do a Wildin' Out episode 2, an exclusive. It's just kind of funny to me because even through the beef when he was dissing Eminem, like he was inviting him on to Wildin' Out at the same time, the invitation. Now the invitation's canceled, like, or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man, but I just don't really think it's gonna happen. Eminem's talented. No one ever really disputes that. Even if people say his music ain't necessarily for him, he always gets his props that he's a dope MC. But at the same time, I mean, we can't front. Eminem, I don't want to say he's kind of weird, but maybe he is kind of weird. I don't know, but it is what it is. Maybe this could happen. I don't know. Maybe because Fat Joe and M are on good terms. Who knows? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it's just kind of wild to think the way all this spans back to the early 2000s when Eminem was talking about Mariah. Then later started talking about Nick. I don't know, man. I'm going to play another clip where they speak on that whole situation. But make sure to get in the comments, man. What do you guys think of all this? That beef just kind of came and went, right? Like, I don't know, it was what it was. People were talking about it a lot, and then no one was talking about it at all. It just kind of came and went, and here we are now. Nick's once again open to squashing issues with Eminem, and like I said, the invitation is back uncanceled for him to come back out wilding out. So I don't know, man. Jump in them comments. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this all. Make sure to sub to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Daily videos. But I got one more clip for y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.
You get into this little rap beef with Eminem. Right?
Yeah, again.
Yo, Nick, you get into the rap. He dissed you on my song, but you know they broke it down to me that y'all had been dissing each other forever. I didn't even know. And
Right.
so some people who love Eminem hit me up and say, "Yo, Joe," and I'm like, Nick Cannon, and that's my man, and they cool. And then when I made a
You had no idea.
when I made a couple of phone calls, and the homies was like, "No, Nick Cannon certified. He with us." I'm like, "What?" I said, "For real?" And I'm like, and what is the beef with Eminem? What is the beef? I mean, you in the big show. Let's keep it real, man. What's the beef?
We on the big show.
Eminem.
I'm talking to Joe, bro. I gotta go in. I gotta
We're the
give you
Joker
exclusive.
show, bro. This is a Joker moment.
Nah, real facts. This is my thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I say this on my radio show, Power 106 all the time. Like, man, I've always been an Eminem fan. The artist is somebody that I feel like is super skilled. He's good for the culture, been good for the culture, been good to the culture. But I think as a man, where he and I went left, I don't really know what he and my ex-wife had going on. I think she got a new book coming out, and she talking about it in there. And,
no way. Yo,
yeah,
Mariah got a book talking about it?
Yeah, Mariah got she doing an exclusive, memoir telling, talking.
Don't do that. That's a Joker moment. Hey, yo,
But that was none of my business. I mean, I don't. You know how we do. We don't never hate them. So
side of the story.
Yeah, but like I said, that was before me. We got married in 2008, and up until then, I had been nothing but a Mariah and fan. I was just excited to be with Mariah Carey, and I wasn't even aware that they had interaction. I don't know if they dated or how things go in this industry, but she was telling me like, dude was just super disrespectful, and I was like, all right, well, as a husband, like, if I got to protect my wife at any cost, it's on, And then, but we didn't even really think nothing of it. And then all of a sudden, dude came out with a crazy record, like, just blatantly just disrespecting, like, using terms, like, that, we don't stand for as men, like, talking about my wife, and then called my name. So I was like, at the time, I'm managed by, Chris Lighty, you know what I'm saying? One of our brothers, God rest his soul. And he got the connection with, because he was managing Fifth at the time. And, I think him and M's manager was super cool, Paul. So he was like, yo, Nick want to holler at your guy, because this is, I'll get all the jokes and the rah-rah. I'm Mr. Wildin' Out. You can make jokes all day long, but when you go to a certain point where, one, you start lying, and then two, you start blatant, like calling my wife out her name, all kind of whores and cunts and all of this craziness, you got to see me. We got to talk about this man to man. And I was really just looking, especially then, we wasn't even about no music. I wasn't trying to rap or nothing. Like, I wanted to have a real man-to-man conversation. And they was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. He doesn't want to talk. I was like, how you just going to say some wild shit and then you don't want to talk to me? And I was like, now that's even triple disrespectful. You know what I mean? So that's where it kind of kicked off, because I was trying to handle it like a man and get to it. And then, at the time, I think they kept putting records out back and forth. Mariah put out the Obsessed joint where she was him in the video. Shit went like triple platinum.
Mariah got a hit off that shit, that energy.
That joint went to #1.
She came back on that motherfucker shit. That was like an R&B diss record smash #1.
So that was like she really needed Yeah, she might need to do nothing else with it. And like she's the queen, she the goat on her own. So I ain't even have to, I was just cheerleading from the sideline real. And then dude just kept going. He kept getting more disrespectful, but wouldn't, I BET Awards, different award show. I move how I move. So I was walking up like, yo, let's just have this man-to-man conversation. And it never happened. But then, time went on, cooler heads prevailed. We got later on, we start to joke about it. I'm trying to invite him to Wildin' Out. I figure at this point, like, bygones is bygones. Decades have passed. And, I mean, he just kept belaboring it. I think even it was another conversation. I think Tips, pause, I was on T.I.'s podcast. And he brought it up. You know what I mean? And we were just talking about, like, we know T.I. got hands. I'm boxed. We all come from cats who fight. So I think I might have said something slick like, that dude ain't no fighter. You know what I mean? Like, just talking, we joking around. And I think that might have been what kind of, because it was during the same time that Joe record came out. So I think he might have maybe caught wind or something like that. Because I don't know why he would be talking about some stuff from like 10 years prior. And, I saw it as an opportunity to promote Wildin' Out. So he went at me, I went at him. I put my guy, the battle rapper from Wildin' out there, and the ratings went up. So we still wait. We went to #1 off that. So